Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome. Today we will explore something that has made headlines, the Pakistan Saudi Arabia Defense Pact. It is not just a normal agreement, it is a turning point in the global balance of power. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia share a deep bond that goes back over 70 years. After independence, Saudi Arabia was one of the first to recognize Pakistan. Since then, both nations have stood together through faith, culture, and shared interest. Millions of Pakistanis work in Saudi Arabia and millions visit each year for Hajj and Umrah. This has built emotional and spiritual ties, not just political ones. Pakistan, in return, has shared military training, expertise, and manpower. This new pact is not a sudden move, it is the continuation of a trusted friendship. What is a defense pact? In simple terms, a defense pact means two countries agree to cooperate in defense and security. It includes joint training, intelligence sharing, technology transfer, and professional support. You can call it a promise of partnership. It means both countries will stand with each other in times of need. By signing this pact, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia have shown that their cooperation is becoming stronger, more structured, and more strategic. What does the pact include? The pact covers key area training. Pakistan will continue training Saudi troops and officers. 2. Intelligence sharing. Both sides will share vital information for security. 3. Joint military exercises. Their forces will train together for coordination. Technology transfer. Expertise in new defense system will be shared. Capacity building. Both sides will help strengthen each other's institution. Manpower support. Pakistani experts may assist Saudi defense programs. Research and development. Cooperation in new defense technology. The goal is not war, it's preparation, partnership, and peace through cooperation. Both Pakistan and Saudi Arabia are in regions facing serious challenges. Pakistan has tensions with India and Afghanistan. The Middle East faces conflicts, shifting alliances, and economic change. By joining hands now, both countries want a safer and more stable future. Economically, it also makes sense. When nations cooperate in defense, trust increases, and that trust boosts trade and investment. Saudi Arabia has capital and oil. Pakistan has manpower, defense skills, and a strategic location. Together, they can support each other's growth. A strategic partnership with a purpose. This partnership combines military capability with economic strength. Pakistan brings experience and credibility. Saudi Arabia brings resources and influence. Together, they form a regional balance not against anyone but for their own independence. It is a strategic mix that reduces dependency on Western powers and builds regional self reliance. The global power shift. For decades, the United States dominated global politics. After the Cold War, Washington was the only superpower, deciding wars and managing oil rich regions. But that world is changing. The 21st century is becoming multipolar, where several countries share power. The Pakistan Saudi partnership is part of this new world order. It shows that countries no longer want to depend fully on America's security. They are making decisions based on their own national interest. Why both sides lost trust in Washington? Let us recall the history. In the 1980s, Pakistan was America's main ally against the Soviet Union. But once the war ended, the US walked away, leaving Pakistan to handle refugees, militancy, and instability. After 9/11, Pakistan sacrificed over 80,000 lives fighting terrorism, yet it was still blamed and sanctioned. They taught Pakistan a lesson. American alliances are short term and self centered. Saudi Arabia saw the same pattern. The US overthrew Saddam Hussein, upsetting the balance with Iran. Later, it signed a nuclear deal with Tehran, Saudi Arabia's main rival. And when Iranian drones hit Saudi oil fields in 2019, America did not respond. That is when Riyadh realized it can no longer rely completely on USA. Searching for new partners. Both Pakistan and Saudi Arabia began to look for new and reliable options. Saudi Arabia started working with China, Russia, and Asian partners. It even let China mediate peace with Iran, something once impossible. Pakistan, facing economic pressures, looked for partners that respect its sovereignty and value its expertise. Riyadh became the natural choice, a powerful Muslim ally with shared security concerns. So this pact did not appear suddenly. It is the result of years of quiet diplomacy and mutual understanding. The role of China. You cannot ignore China in the history. Beijing has strong ties with both Islamabad and Riyadh. Through CPEC and Gulf investment, China has shown that cooperation can be based on economics, not dominance. This does not mean Pakistan or Saudi Arabia are becoming Chinese allies overnight. It just means they now have more options. And in global politics, options mean power. The more choices a country has, the more independent it becomes. The decline of American dominance. After the Cold War, the US enjoyed what scholars call a unipolar movement. It was the only global superpower, but that period did not last. 2 decades of war, domestic problems, and rising rivals like China and Russia have weakened that dominance. The world is now moving toward multipolarity, where many regional powers share responsibility and power. The Pakistan Saudi Pact fits this global change perfectly. It is a sign that Muslim nations are ready to take responsibility for their own security and stability. What each side gains. For Pakistan, the gains are clear: economic support and Saudi investment, defense cooperation and international recognition, a stronger role in the Middle East. For Saudi Arabia, The benefits include defense expertise from Pakistan, greater independence from the US, confidence in dealing with regional challenges, especially Iran. Together, they represent a Muslim led security model focused on peace and development, not dependency. The broader meaning: this pact is more than a military agreement. It is a quiet challenge to the idea that Muslim countries must depend on the West for security. It shows that strength comes through unity and self reliance, not through foreign security. It is about dignity, trust, and long term cooperation. In fact, it reflects a new mindset, one where countries believe in themselves and work together for stability. Lesson for the Muslim world: the main lesson is simple: cooperation brings power. When Muslim nations trust each other, they reduce the space for outsiders to control their future. Pakistan Saudi unity can inspire similar partnership with Turkey, Malaysia, or other regional players. Such alliances can bring balance, progress, and a stronger voice for the Muslim world. It is not anti West, it is pro independence. It is about shaping your destiny, not waiting for others to do it for you. To sum up, the Pakistan Saudi Defense Pact is much more than a defense deal. It represents a shift in global politics from dependence to independence. It reflects the ends it reflects the end of America's monopoly and the rise of confident regional powers. Pakistan brings professional experience. Saudi Arabia brings wealth and influence. Together, they show that Muslim nations can build peace and stability on their own. For Pakistanis, this is a moment of pride. It proves our country's relevance, reliability, and role in shaping the future. Thank you for watching. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.